Well, hello guys. Welcome to a new series that I'm going to try and start on my channel. I want to start with some prototyping designs, and I spent a lot of my time in creative just testing out the various structures, various farms, various concepts of things I want to do, much like my basalt farm and my wart farm, and then the lava collection machine, a bunch of other designs. But I've spent some time recently, and I have made some pretty quick strides in this starport. I've called it this, but it's really just a shulker box requesting system, and it is completely redundant. It is probably completely pointless to have this, as filled shulker boxes are probably more people's style to fit into a crafting system, and this is taking up quite a bit of space to accomplish this. However, my previous video, which I privated, well, it's unlisted, so I will link it in the description if you want to see it, but it is a completely speechless video. I spent some time with this, and this is a pretty sizable 4-speed shulker box requesting system based off of a timed system that each item in this hopper is multiplied by 4. So this would give off 2 stacks of whatever is in the system. Now, I wanted to show this off a little bit better. So there are these 5 items in the directory. These are just all the items that are currently linked up here. So if I want to craft a bunch of shulker boxes, and I've tossed these 2 in here, then at the bottom of this, which this is at a really high rate of speed right now, I think the TPS, or tick rate, is at 200, so that we will see these happen very instantaneous. So this is what would come to your crafting system, and you would just grab what's in here and you would be done. The system has a few flaws, namely the size is, I mean, you can see the amount of space between these 2 directory inputs right here, and this bothered me quite a bit. The speed is not really my problem. I don't need it to be super fast, and I need to have access to storage. And as you can see, there's not really much room for that, because this is the input, and there's just not a lot of room to work around this, and then there's a sorter above it. So I had to completely redesign this, and I accomplished that within the next day. And this is the version 2, and this allows up to 6 sorters put into a system that trickles down into a 2-speed loader. So while I do have the speed of this, I do increase the compactness of this. Now this design is it's a little different, so I want to explain what the concept with this idea is. While I can request items to me, and I like that a lot, I don't want to see this system. So behind me is the buildings that are silhouetted by their size that I would want them to be, and it will house this mega structure, will house all of these various requesting systems, so that I can stock it from the same location, but I can create a lot of the items I need in bulk. Namely, I've set this up to create observers, and in this box I have run this system numerous times to debunk any problems with it, and I can consistently create as many observers as I want. So I think this creates 3 stacks of observers per box, and as you can see, this is pretty nice to have if you just need a few items. So if I need to refill something I'm not going to craft an entire shulker box of, and I don't use observers enough to do so, then I would only need to craft a few of these, and they would just sit there and wait for me to craft them. And so we're going to clear that out real quick, and we're going to run the system for real. So there's only 3, there's actually only 1 input for shulker boxes, and they actually get put in right here. So you just have a single input for your shulker boxes, which would be, you would put these in yourself upon request, so that you would have them when you're ready. You won't actually need to leave any shulker boxes in the system. It is a completely shulker box free system. There's not a single shulker box stored in any of this until you have your input. And your input will be based on when you want to load things in the system. To demonstrate, I only need to have 9 boxes for this, so we can actually undo all 5 of these. And then the directory is in a similar location. So let's grab 9 of these. So we'd want to throw in the cobblestone one, and we're going to wait a moment until we get 2 of them back. which we've got 37. So we just need to wait just a moment. Due to the speed that the server's on, it's running at 10 times the normal speed. So this is not going to take very long. While it's running, I will actually describe the system a little bit. So there's still the T flip-flop, which I use, but then I built the rest of the machine to fit within this 6x6 or 6x2. So as you can see, this is a 5, and then this is the other. So this is a 5-wide system. I have a few comparisons or comparators and things running in the background here that aren't really noticeable. Namely, if you run out of items, it is going to enable this torch to prevent it from trying to even use the items, which I'm not sure if that's... I'm still working on getting an actual locking system built into this, but as you can see, it's also accessible. So if anything breaks during any point of this, you'll be able to come back here and actually check and watch the boxes fill up. Now from the first input, which is the first cobblestone row that is going to be made here, as you can see right before it broke, there's going to be about a row of cobblestone put into there. And it's going to trail down to this line. This line is going to be activated, and this will not hold a single shulker box, and it'll put it into this dispenser. It'll repeat this until it's reached the end of the line, and I think the most complex item to craft generally takes 4, and what comes to mind is pistons, cobblestone, wood, iron, and redstone, and it'll go all the way down the line. So you'd only need 4. So this system shows that you can use 4 no matter what it is, and I'm using 2 cobblestones for this. So once we've got enough, which I think we've got enough in there now to run the second cobblestone request, we can throw another 9 in there. And then I will actually be updating the system again for a 3rd version to actually reverse the system entirely. I want to throw the system backwards, and then rather than having to bring the directory up to the player where they've got to, watch everything and make sure it's working properly, I'm actually going to reverse the system, because since the cobblestone takes the longest, if I were to use the quartz as a gate, I could have a shulker box or I could have the directory input to the sorter that I have here, which this is what actually activates the system. Is there's a comparator right here, which I can show that there's a comparator with the number of items in here, and every time this goes back and forth, it's going to actually fire an item out, which allows it to run one more time, which is during the phase right there. So it is now running and filling the box when that item has been sent out. And then once it's on the recharge, which I think this one might be near recharging, when that is on the recharge state, so there's a on-off state with this. So it's on when it starts, and then it's off, so there's a cooldown. So it's not as efficient as it should be. So once this box fills, you'll notice that there's not an immediate another box sent out. And I do not know a way to work around this right now. So as you can see, this is going to stay locked until this hopper clock resets. Once that resets, then it'll start up again. And let's see, we should be on the 3rd one here right now. About half full. We'll wait that one out. But anyways, you can see where this is going. It's going to end up filling up the entire shulker box full of the items requested. I've not really seen any issues with the system so far. This might actually be getting pretty low on redstone. Yeah, it's looking pretty low. Let's just fill this up real quick, just in case. Oh, that one is extremely low. Oh, I caught that. So keeping the system loaded is something that I have to figure out as well. I don't have a way of telling when the system doesn't have the right items craftable until it reaches the player. So there's a few flaws in the system still. But at this point, this is past the prototype stage, and it is in the functional reality that I want to have here. So this is actually generally functional, and that makes me really happy. So this is the 2nd version of this, and I think we're able to actually throw in the redstone and the quartz as well. So yeah, we can throw out the redstone now as well. So this system's going to be twice as fast. There's a weird denominator with how this works. So this is going to fill up really quickly compared to the row. And it's actually going to be twice as fast here, and then that's going to be twice as fast because the load time is a 3rd, plus the 3rd from the items that are missing. So the recharge and the other charge actually makes this half as long as that one. I think. I've not done the math and timed this yet, so I think it's like half, half, half as it goes down the line. And then, as you can see, this is also going to start filling up this line, which has our quartz. And we've already got our first box in the system. So we've got to wait for this to be about half full, which is why I'm going to redesign the system again. All I have to do is just change the system up a little bit. And rather than throw in 4 of these items into the directory, I would actually just have the player throw in like the item they want crafted. So they'd throw in the observer or the piston, and then that would go to the system, and then the quartz would fire in counters independently into each one of these. So as the redstone got full, so what would happen is the quartz is going to fill a box. Once there's a box full of quartz, it's going to trigger the redstone counter and give it the item it needs to start queuing, much like what we have with the quartz. So we have a queue here, and what would happen is the quartz would actually fire twice as fast, so this would stock up the redstone dust, and the redstone dust would be twice as fast, so it would then stock up until the quartz or the cobblestone to start queuing as well down the line. And if anything ran out during that, you would know. But yeah, so this works. This is now half full, so we should be able to throw that in without any problems. I'm gonna wait just a little bit longer, because if you throw this in too soon, yeah, I'm gonna wait that out just a little bit. So even there's still enough redstone in there. Okay. Okay, so that didn't end up being disproportional. Yep. So this is all looking. Oh, we've got a. I don't know why that's doing that. I keep finding every 6th box has extra redstone as well. So I don't know what's going on with the system. It's not perfect still, but I actually thought that problem wasn't going to show itself. It's not the first time it's happened, but it only happens once, which is very strange. I'm thinking there might be a redstone issue with the timer. So, yeah, I think that's everything. So we can throw the quartz in now, and that should be done. And there we go. So as we can see, the output is going to have all of our observers craftable from the same box. So the system's just going to save shulker boxes, really, but it's going to take up a lot of space to store this as well as stock this properly. So I'm going to see if I can shrink the storage down a bit and make it to where you can actually drop off resources. Because if I can get rid of these sorters and I don't have to store these and I can store items in shulker boxes, I'd actually be a lot happier with this system. So I should see a couple more reiterations of this, and then I should be very, very happy with the end result. And that's all I've got for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this. I have a few more prototypes coming out. They'll probably be released within a very short time away from this one as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this very strange contraption, because I will be upgrading it as much as I can. This is the most redstone I've put into a small space, so this took a lot of time to figure out. I'm really happy with it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this, and I will see you in the next video.